Hey guys, you've joined
Hello.
us at the very end of the Luxembourg Song Contest. We have had the international jury vote, which saw Laura Thorn absolutely landslide, which I don't know if anyone predicted that. But I think we are about to get the televote points from Conchita. I think I'm a little bit confused.
Typical for national final season to be a bit confused.
Okay, I think this is it. I mean, I think it's obviously going to be Laura.
Yeah.
Unless
yeah.
Unless the Luxembourg public just doesn't vote for it at all.
I can't see that happening.
Me neither.
I mean, the odds for her to win were like 70% or something, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have an ad break.
Oh my god.
Engagement. That's why we've got another ad break.
Yeah, RTL in our country loves to have ad breaks like every 50 minutes as well. So it's nothing unusual from them.
Oh gosh. Okay, well, let's just talk to pass the time.
Yeah.
Because even though foreign adverts can be quite fun to watch, it would be a bit odd if we just watched them and didn't say anything. So we do have Rai Bailey in the chat. Welcome. You are saying Laura to win. I think Laura pretty much was the favourite for a lot of people, not everyone, I understand. But with all of us four here, who was your favourite from tonight's performances? In terms of staging, vocal, song, the whole package, who's been your favourite?
I mean, I'll start off. I thought that both Rafaela and Danse, I've forgotten his name now.
Luzac.
But Luzac, of course, I thought their staging kind of like surprised me tonight. But again, I think all eyes were on Laura Thorn, and that was both vocals and staging. So yeah, probably the combination of those three. But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there are some songs where I love the staging but not the song. Then other songs I like the song more than the staging. Some sounded better than others, some looked better than others. But for the overall package, the two that stood out the most for me were Laura and Rafaela, I would say. Dylan, what about you?
Tonight, based on the live performances, I think my favorite would have been Rafaela. I really liked the staging, and her song is very interesting, and I think it could do well in the Eurovision Song Contest. But just like you, some of the songs worked on me, while the performance was perhaps not what I expected, or sometimes it was the opposite. So overall, I think I would be happy with Rafaela or Laura winning, for instance. So yeah, here are my two favorites.
And Yosha, who was standing out for you tonight?
Yeah, for me, I think I'm the only one that did not really like Rafaela. I think she was fine, but like she was far from standing out for me. I think, yeah, for me, the only option from the start was Laura. But Luzac really surprised me with his staging. It was, yeah, like phenomenal. But yeah, like the song is good, but like Laura, I think she just gives like a Eurovision top 10 song. If she could like improve her singing and a little bit revamping the stage idea, I think. But I really like the concept that she had now.
Yeah, I think
yeah, sorry, Jess, after you.
I was going to say, I think Laura came across as the strongest on stage tonight. Vocally, definitely the strongest. Staging, not the biggest fan of the staging, I'll be honest. It's a bit too on the nose with the puppet France Gal theme. But if they win, they of course have time to change it and make it so much better. But generally speaking, really stood out in a good way.
Yeah, they changed like Tali's staging a lot last year.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, is the glow up that Tali had last year from the national final to Eurovision. They've got so much time now, haven't they? So, yeah.
I did not expect the massive tigers.
I know I wasn't loving that, to be honest, but I'm sure I had its fans somewhere out there. If we go to the live chat, it seems like a lot of people are backing Laura to win. It has to be Laura, and it will be, says Lee Fern. Armanon, I think it's pronounced. You're saying who won? We don't know yet. We just know that Laura Thorn has won the international jury vote by a landslide. She got all but one of the 12 points, and that remaining 12 points went to Luzac. I think we are coming back to the show again. Hannah, you're saying you think Laura was shaky. I think maybe she came across as a bit nervous, which I think is understandable. But overall, I think she was still really good. And I've just heard Conchita say we are back. So I think this means, I hope this means we're ready for the televote.
Oh yeah, we're back.
It was a long show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
7
songs.
And it lasts for
was
2
long.
hours.
I mean, Junior Eurovision had 17
I
songs,
suppose.
and it was a 2-hour show. So
Yeah.
They probably learned it from the Italians. So, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Starting with 110.
That was the last one, wasn't it? The country one.
Yeah, but what's the percentage like televote jury? Because 110 is insane.
It's the same number.
0.5.
Oh, that's so low.
Are they really popular? 0.5 maybe in Luxembourg.
Oh, I thought Rafaela would do better.
17 points.
That's
a bit
not
harsh.
many.
Oh,
Goodness me.
That's also not many.
I mean, is there
Yeah, I
going
thought
to
she'd
be much left for Laura to overtake? Because she needs, what, 30 something?
Yeah, I think she will win.
Oh, gosh.
Unless we were about to leave a UMK 2024 moment again.
Who's Luzac?
They got like triple the points of Rafaela. Oh no, double.
Okay.
With the 52 of the jury, they got 81 in total. Well then.
Okay, Laura won, I think.
Luzac with 31 points from the audience. With the 62 of the jury, that's a total of 93 points.
How many?
31 was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that she needed. I think they are maybe very popular because the applause from the audience was maybe like the loudest when their name came.
Ja, dan zo een beetje halen door. Op je alle van de ogen applaus, die alle goeden, die Anna, die de nummer komt zu gepackt und hier wirklich bravo.
Gosh, Luxembourg has got to make things so long.
Dan ben je opgeregen, nerveus, toen wirklich moet je zo bij een publikum zo bij je alles geändert. Eles estão a ver para dia como mir ganz viel geschwur, denke ja, wie gesagt, da raus, ne? Mais was de zuversichtlich oder
So do we know how many televotes are left to give?
I don't.
No.
I'm not sure, but they're all going to Laura, aren't they? I think at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Come on, Luxembourg.
Any moment.
So she needs, if she gets 3 points, she'll beat them by
I think there are enough left for her to win.
So I think the televotes is the same number of jury votes.
Yeah, I think it's the same. The 0.5 just got like a lot from the televote.
Yeah. So I don't know how many jury points there were in total.
I think she won.
Has the moment arrived?
Yeah, I think my stream is behind. Yes,
How many she got?
I think 90 something they said. Conchita said.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
Well,
Laura won.
Laura Thorn has won the Luxembourg Song Contest.
There we go.
In a surprise of the century. She will be representing Luxembourg at Eurovision 2025 with POUPÉE MONTE song. Every time I say that, I keep going to say France Gal's song title instead.
Yeah.
A mistake. So I don't think there's any surprises by anyone that Laura's won. I think from tonight's show, she was definitely one of the standout performers. And that runaway jury win, I think, just cemented her win overall. So guys, are we happy with the winner? Are we happy to see Laura going to Eurovision?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think there needs to be some work on the staging, but that, you know, we saw the glow up with Tali from the national final to Malmö, so it will happen. And yeah, I think it's going to be another good year for Luxembourg.
Yeah. Of the 3 songs selected now, I think this will be the fan favorite.
Yeah, I could definitely see the fans absolutely loving this. I think I see this more of a televote song than a jury song.
Yeah.
Initially, but after landsliding the international jury tonight, maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think it could be for both. Like actually,
I think the link as well it's got to the previous Luxembourg song and like the history behind the song. It's not just a good song; it's got like a lot of heritage with it as well. So yeah, I think that gives it a lot of depth as well, I think, which makes it a good entry for Luxembourg this year.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Now, guys in the live chat, let us know what you think of Laura Thorn and her song, Le POUPÉE MONTE le son. I will remember that eventually. Who was your favourites from tonight? Who were your standouts? What did you think of the show in general? Let us know your comments. If you have any questions you want to ask us, feel free to ask them. But speaking of the show, we've seen another almost Eurovision length type of show from one of the smallest countries in Eurovision. What did you guys think of the show overall in terms of the hosting and the staging and everything? Because I think it's kind of almost like an actual Eurovision contest. It's, you know, the quality and such a high quality of everything, really. Dylan, I'll come to you. What are your thoughts on the second edition of LSC?
Well, apart from the fact that they were stretching it a bit too much, perhaps, everything else was really, really nice. Indeed, you have a gorgeous staging, and I think it would be amazing at an actual Eurovision. I really liked also the performance of the hosts. I think it was very nice. three of them worked together. I wish we had less of Conchita, perhaps, and a bit more of the two Luxembourgese hosts. But overall, I think the production was really, really good, and it shows that Luxembourg is it's coming back in the contest very seriously, and has tried really hard to organize something of very, very good quality. And really, I was happy with tonight's show.
I completely agree. Yoshra, I'm going to come to you. What are your thoughts? Because I know last year you were there live in the press center and you saw the show live. How was it this year watching it on like a screen, basically?
Yeah, really different. I feel like it lasted longer this time. They really, really stretched it. It may be a bit too long for me, but yeah, ad breaks have to happen. So, but like it was like Dylan said, really like just watching a Eurovision. The quality was there. The proposal was something I did not expect, but really funny to watch. The woman said yes, right? To the proposal.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, well,
thank goodness.
how can you say no in such circumstances?
Yeah. But yeah, it was a really fun show, and Conchita hosting was fun. Maybe a little bit less, and maybe a little bit more proud of the Luxembourgish people. But yeah, really, really fun show. Good songs, good winner, and yeah, maybe next year a little bit shorter.
Yes, I agree.
Well, keep it that long, but with more songs, perhaps 10 songs or 2 hours.
I think 7 songs is a good number of songs. Like it's really easy to listen to all the songs and don't get bored midway and pay less attention to the latest songs.
Yeah, but I felt like there was almost as many interval acts and ad breaks as there was songs.
Yeah, maybe more.
Yeah, maybe less of that and more of the songs.
Yeah.
Chris, what are your thoughts on LSC this year?
Oh, I loved it. I thought the hosts were great. I thought Conchita was great. I had the pleasure of speaking with Rafa Ela a couple of weeks ago, and she said just how much effort the team behind RTL had gone into making this show better. And I just think it's so nice to see a country like Luxembourg not only like come back before last year, after 31 years, but to like have as much motivation to keep on making it better. I think they're an example to the rest of Europe, if anything. And yeah, I think it's just really nice. Again, this is like one of our first or the first national final of 2025. And it's just a nice kickoff. It's just really good. So yeah, I was really impressed.
And I think they've definitely set the bar very high for the remainder of national final season, I would say. But let's go back to the chat and see what you guys are saying. We have Hannah Lou, you're saying so weird results. Lee Fern, they're dragging it out, aren't they? Yes, Luxembourg seem to be good at that. I think if we saw Eurovision in Luxembourg, we'd still be waiting for the results at 7 a.m. probably. Gosh. Lee Fern, you're saying you're number one by far. I feel like I'm echoing somewhere. I don't know where.
You are, yeah.
Okay. Let's carry on in the chat. Lisa, and you're saying very surprised 0.5 won the Televote.
Yeah.
Now, they were obviously the last to perform. They had a very Mumford and Sons inspired country song, I would say. And I am presuming they are very popular in Luxembourg because they were getting huge cheers every time they were mentioned or came on stage. So do you think possibly it was a bit of a popularity contest with the Televote and that's why they won the Televote perhaps? Dylan, I'll come to you for this.
I mean, perhaps I agree with you. I'm a bit surprised because their vocals were really not good, to be honest, sorry, but perhaps this is a stress or something, but they were good. That they actually came this well with the Televote. However, I think the reason that might explain it is they had probably the funniest of the songs tonight. Something very catchy, something who could easily enjoy, and difference with La Poupée Monte le son is also probably the language. So I would assume that most of the people in Luxembourg speaks fluently French, but also I don't think the vote was only open to Luxembourg people.
Yeah.
You could vote from abroad, and then it would mean that for many people, something catchy like that and something that was in English might have been more relatable to some of them.
Yeah. I mean, even though I think the song was a bit dated, personally, it did have a very nice kind of fun and happy vibe to it. And I think that really helped with their televote score. But Yosha, what were your thoughts on 0.5?
I think the song was very fun. It reminded me a lot of Avicii The Night, I think it's the song, like a lot. And the vocals were not perfect, but I think it was one of the performances with the most fun, and it really felt like a party. So yeah, I really liked it. It doesn't surprise me that they did really good with the televote, but this good maybe a little. Yeah, I think a good song, but happy Lara got the win in the end.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Going back to the chat, we have Ry Bailey saying that you only like Laura's song. Okay. Seems to be a favorite with a lot of people. Now let's go back to some of the other participants we saw tonight. And if I just pick one at random, if I go to Rafa Ela, now she opened the show, and I think she opened it in a very, very strong and powerful way, I would say. Chris, I see you nodding there. Were you a Rafaela fan this year?
Oh, I was yeah, I think obviously I just said before, had the pleasure of chatting to her. And yeah, today was a really, really special for her anyway, because it was the anniversary, I think, of 2 years now when her grandmother passed away, sadly. So it fell when she was in Luxembourg Song Contest last year, it fell on a similar date, but this was like bang on the date. So she was very nervous tonight going into it, but yeah, she gave it everything she had. And yeah, no, I think what an opener for the show, though. I think it was a great opener, if anything. And yeah, really set the tone for the rest of the contestants.
Definitely. And I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I was getting Shady Lady vibes from Rafaela's staging right off the bat. Dylan, what did you think of Rafaela opening the show?
Oh, I really loved her, and I think she was a great opener. She gave everything she had. I'm a bit sad for her, though, because the results, they really don't reflect what she brought on stage. She won. She was one of the best tonight, according to me. And I definitely agree with you. The vibes were interesting. Shady Lady. What made me laugh also is her reference at the end. When they asked the contestants what would they do if they were to win, or if they were to represent Luxembourg. I don't remember exactly the phrasing, but then she said she would do something like slow-mo or fuego.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt it a bit that it was funny because she picked like 2 people who didn't win the actual contest. So it was like I'm trying to upgrade my game, but at the same time, I'm not going to be higher than second place for fuego. So that was kind of funny for me.
Yeah, and I'm just actually looking at the results, and I've seen that Rafaela actually finished in 9th place, which has now made me really sad because I didn't get that from the live stream. So sadly, she was at the bottom. It wasn't her year, but I would love to see her come back because I think she has a lot of potential. She is a great performer, has a great voice. So I think at some point we will see her representing Luxembourg. We have Ellen Hanwright. Good morning from Australia. You've been up since 5 a.m. watching the show. Really enjoyed it, but now I'm tired. Super happy with Laura's win. I mean, props to you for getting up in the middle of the night for Luxembourg. I don't think I could ever do that, to be honest with you. I love my sleep too much. Ry Bailey, you were not keen on Rafaela. You found her song too repetitive. Okay. Maybe let's move on to another act. And we had Luzac, who probably brought some of the most intriguing staging of this year's contest. Yosha, what were your thoughts on the staging for Luzac?
I think the best staging of the night
Mhm.
by far for me. It reminded me a little bit of Caria in some ways with the green
Okay.
and black and a little bit, but the staging was amazing. Like all the contrast. In the beginning they had like a green web-ish and they like bounded it. Yeah, I don't know how to explain, but it was really epic. Yeah, really creative, and the song was fine, but the staging was even better. It really elevated the performance, and really understandable third place for him. Even deserved second place, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like this is a classic case of the staging is better than the song, in my opinion. But guys in the chat, let us know what you thought of Luzac's song and staging. Were you a fan? Were you not a fan? Chris, were you
Hello.
a fan or were you not a fan?
Similarly to you, Jess, I was a real fan of the staging. This is one of the songs when I listened to like all of them together, it didn't really stand out to me much. But when I saw the staging, it was kind of giving me Marcus and Martinez vibes with kind of like those
Yes.
futuristic walls. Yeah, I think it was the chorus I found a little bit dated with Je Dance, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was the winner tonight. Well, it wasn't, but I thought the staging, like you said, better than the song.
Yeah.
But if it had won, could have had a revamp. So
Oh yeah, definitely. And Dylan, were you dancing to Je Dance?
No, I wasn't. Not
Oh,
at
no.
all.
Oh dear.
The no. The song is very, very forgettable in my opinion. I didn't pick it up when I was listening to the studio version. However, I agree with you guys. I think the performance on stage helped for the song to stand out from tonight's competition. One thing though, I think I see what Yosh, I mean, with the reminders of Karia. But I think also that based on the rhythmics of the song and with the staging that he was offering us tonight, that Luzac was offering us, it was a bit also simple somehow. I really like the staging, don't get me wrong, but I think it could have gone for something a bit more elaborated than just lights and green lights everywhere, laser lights. That felt a bit like a cheap version of We Will Rave from last year, for instance.
Okay.
So it was good based on what we saw, but I think that it definitely would have had to improve it and step up his game if he were to win.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. In the chat, though, we have Hannah Lou saying Luzac in, I presume that means France, might have had first vote. So maybe they would have done good in France. I don't know.
It's just when the song is in your native language, then obviously you don't have to pay a lot of attention to actually relate to the lyrics to understand it. And so, for instance, I have this problem with La Poupée Monte le Son. I think it's just a very, very basic song. The lyrics are just not appealing to me because I understand it, and so it's just like meh, Perhaps it's the same with Je Danse, and that's why it didn't. I just didn't got anything from the song.
Yeah, fair enough. I can totally understand that. Rai Bailey, you also liked his staging more than his song, and you also think that Laura's staging is like Junior Eurovision. Okay, I personally don't see that, but I can understand how people could. Now, of course, let's take a break from the songs and maybe talk about the hosts of tonight, because I think I know, Dylan, you're so excited for this.
Yes.
So I think we were supposed to be having just two hosts, Raoul and Loic, I think it's pronounced. But then we were surprised by Conchita on stage, who was a surprise third host. Now, I personally think Raoul and Loic, who were there last year as well, did a very good job. I personally liked Conchita in her hosting role. But Dylan, I understand you maybe have a differing view on this.
Well, yes, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but I'm just not a big fan of Conchita, generally speaking. And having her on stage in Luxembourg tonight was just a bit annoying to me. She has this funny vibes that she can bring onto the stage, and that was fine. But she also has this tendency to always be like a night night butterfly, you know, she's always going for the light, the spotlight, and
Okay.
then she tried to capture everything. And so, in my opinion, it was more about Conchita than anything else, and that was really annoying to me. I mean, like, no, I'm sorry, I just don't buy it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I can understand where you're coming from with that. It's a very valid point, I would say. But if I come to you, Chris, if we were to see Luxembourg hosting Eurovision, for example, do you think people like Rao and Loic would make good Eurovision hosts?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I love the outfits. I was saying that's something I
Yeah.
would to wear if I went to, Eurovision. I like the addition of Conchita. I agree with you, Dylan. It was a little bit overkill. But again, not going to go into too much depth, but I think that there was a reason why Conchita was there tonight. Whether that is to do with this year or in the future, I think there's a reason behind it. I don't know what it is, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think there's some kind of promotion going on for maybe when Austria may announce an artist in the future. We will see. But back on the hosts, I thought that they were fantastic. I thought that there was in Luxembourg, obviously you've got mix of like German, French, and I think an English, and I think that they evenly, reach towards people in different countries very, very well. So yeah, I think that they should continue hosting future editions.
Yeah, Yosha, I see you nodding. I assume that means you liked the hosts tonight.
Yeah, I really like the host. Yeah, I agree with both Chris and Dylan. Like Conchita was maybe a little bit too much in the spotlight, stealing the spotlight of the real Luxembourgish host. But I think they could go straight to host the Eurovision. Like they had fun, they were funny, they were professional. The combination of languages is really nice. I think it represents really how Luxembourg would want to host a Eurovision, and yeah, I think they won't have any problem with speaking the little French bits, so that will be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fun show.
Yeah, I agree. And if they do host Eurovision, I think they're definitely 100% ready for it, and it would be an amazing show. But let's go back to the chat, guys. Keep your comments and questions about tonight's show coming up. Your favorites, your not so favorites. Were there any surprises for you, maybe? Any standouts, or was everything just completely normal as you expected? Whatever you're thinking, let us know. But let's go to Nelson David Corredor Zamora. Luxembourg Song Contest 2025 didn't give a chance to Luzac to represent Luxembourg, but you're happy. You wish Laura Thorn all the best in Switzerland. Nice greetings from Bogota, Colombia.
Wow.
Welcome to our video from Colombia. What time is it over there? Should you be asleep right now? Are you missing work? I have no idea. Let us know.
I think it's middle of the day there. I think they
Okay.
are before us.
Okay. Cool. You can enjoy a nice lunch break watching your favorite Eurovoxx. But let's go back to some of the artists. Now, one artist that I saw a lot of people kind of raving about was Rhythmic Soul Wave. I think it divided a lot of people because not everybody is a fan of that kind of genre like myself. But a lot of people, I think, were raving about just how beautiful and simple the song and the staging was, and how, in my opinion, how beautiful the lead singer's voice was. Dylan, what did you think of Rhythmic Soul Wave?
So honestly, I was just going through the notes, my notes. The vocals were pretty good, and I think the staging was simple yet effective. Very, very nice, very cute. But when it comes to the song itself, I just didn't get anything from it. I'm sorry, I just don't think it's working for me. That's all I can say about it. It's something you can forget very easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a beautiful sounding song, but it is rather forgettable.
Mhm.
And I think for me, I was very captivated by the lead singer's vocals, which I thought were absolutely beautiful. But that was really the only thing that was grabbing my attention and not really anything else. Yosha, were you a fan of Rhythmic Soul Wave at all?
I think her voice was amazing. I think maybe better than Laura, not on every point. Maybe sometimes it was a little bit shaky, but the voice overall was really good. I think the vibe was amazing. I think it was a really good performance, really fun to look at. But I think for Eurovision, it would maybe crash. It would be like a coming last song, even though it has a lot of quality and a really strong song, really strong vocalist. But I think it wasn't just the right pick to between all bombastic, entertaining songs. I think people would go get coffee or peanuts during that song. But I really enjoyed it.
I can see where you're coming from. I think a song like that would appeal to juries. I think that would be more their cup of tea, but televoters, I don't think so. And obviously, they need televoters on their side to qualify from the semi-finals. So, but yeah, it's a shame the televoters won't be able to enjoy their peanuts and stuff. But Chris, did you think Rhythmic Soul Wave had any chance of winning tonight?
I don't know. Like you said, there was a kind of split opinion in the fandom. So I think there was definitely a chance. But onto the idea of this going to Eurovision, I think this is the kind of thing that I would, if I was in like a blues or jazz club and this was a band in the corner, I would be eating it up. I would love it.
Oh, yeah.
But for something as big as Eurovision, I think it would slightly fall flat, sadly.
Yeah.
But goes without saying, their harmonies are second to none. They were like, I wouldn't be able to harmonize like that anywhere. So they've got a talent, and I would love to see them back. Maybe with something a little bit more energy though next time.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. I think they have great potential. They just need a more competitive, stronger song, I think. But it would be great to see them back in the contest, definitely. But guys in the chat, what are your thoughts on Rhythmic Sound Wave? Did I say that right? Soul Wave. Were you a fan of their song or their performance? Let us know. And Ry Bailey, thank you very much. We love comments like this. Ry Bailey, you think that she's got an amazing voice, but it would not qualify. I think that's the general consensus, sadly, for this. But let's go to a completely different type of genre. And we had a Gambler song by One Last Time, which was bringing the rock. But for me, it wasn't rocking enough on stage, I'm afraid. Dylan, I feel like you're going to agree.
Yeah, no, definitely. It comes as no surprise that we agree. I think the staging, the song, everything was a bit forgettable. Something. The rhythm of the song was pretty okay. I think it's funny and entertaining. Something that might also lead you to dance. But other than that, honestly, I didn't vibe. And I think the vocals were probably the worst of the evening, which didn't help either. To get into the song. So yeah.
Yeah, sadly, it just fell a bit flat on stage. I think generally the group or the band seems really good, but this song, there wasn't really anything that I could remember about it or that was really standing out to me. Yosha, I think you're the same.
Yeah, I agree. Last year, I really liked their song, like Devil in the Detail. I saw it live and it was one of the best, I think. But this year, it wasn't really catchy. It didn't grab your attention enough. Like, this year, I think last year they were better and way better at grabbing people's attention. I think they also finished a little bit better, but I don't know that for sure, actually. But yeah, it was a fine performance, but like I expected a little bit more from them seeing their result last year. Oh no, they also came sixth last year. But yeah, it was fine. It was nice to have a rock song in all of the competition. But yeah, maybe next year if they are going to try again, maybe bring a little bit more energy, creativity, catchiness, like so people can not forget it.
Yeah, of course. And as you said, it was nice to have a rock song in the lineup, the only rock song in the lineup. But Chris, do you think this rock song stood out enough in the lineup?
Sadly not. Again, I think it was a good addition to this lineup. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is that it's just nice to have them back. It was just the vocals for me. I think this one, it didn't quite, there were just a few parts, unfortunately. But like I say, hopefully they'll just keep coming back and they'll get better year on year. So yeah, because it would be great if we got a rock band for Luxembourg one year at Eurovision.
Oh, yeah.
High-end impact rock band. I think that'd be great.
That would be so cool. And it would be really cool if they sang in Luxembourgish too. Like if we just had full-on Luxembourgish rock.
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah, would be epic. Hannah Lou, you are saying Rhythmic Sound Wave musically was the most professional. By Bailey, I think you're talking about the rock band, worst performance of the night. Okay, fair enough. We do have one more participant, I think, that we have not spoken about, and it was, I want to call her Mäna, but I don't know if the two dots on the A changed the pronunciation.
I think
So
it was Mina, but I don't know that for sure.
Mina.
Okay, so we had Mina with Human Eyes, and I don't know if anyone remembers Eurovision 2020 that never happened, but we had Val with Davidna for Belarus, and the lady was wearing this like sparkly head thing.
It reminded me of that as well. Yeah.
And I immediately thought of her, but for me, this was just not grabbing my attention at all. She sounded great on stage, she looked great, but the song just felt very flat for me. And every time the recap came around, I just could not remember the song, sadly. Dylan, what are your thoughts on Luxembourg's Davidna?
Well, I think the scenery, the staging was pretty actually. I think it also helped to step up the performance overall. It was here to support it. However, the song was a bit flat. The vocals were a bit weak. Altogether, I am not surprised of her results, and I must say that honestly, I'm trying to think of something else than her staging, because I can visualize the staging, but the song, the rhythm, the lyrics, they're just gone. And I think that's the problem with this song, is that it's very forgettable and comes flat. And altogether, I think the evening we had a lot of ups and downs, between really good songs or catchy songs that we could think of, and some others that we completely forgot. And this is clearly one of these songs.
Yeah, sadly, I would have to agree. But I do know that Tommy from Eurovoxx had this as his favourite. This was the one he wanted to win and that he thought would win. But Chris, did you think this could win like Tommy?
I thought the staging was like really impactful. I think, if anything, this was given, like you compared to the Belarusian entry, Jess, from 2020. This was almost giving me like what kind of Serbia would do. Pesmaza, Eurovisionu, like with their kind of like mysterious kind of like effective but clean staging. So when I saw like how kind of mysterious it was, I was like quite surprised, really. It caught my eye. But like you said, Dylan, the song was not there, unfortunately. And that's what needs to make a really good Eurovision song. It can't all just be about the song. It has to be about the staging and performance as well. You need the whole package. So sadly, this didn't have everything. But again, we might see Mina back. And yeah,
I hope so.
How to do staging. So
yeah. And Yosha, what are your thoughts on Mina's song? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us?
Well, I actually really disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I thought like it wasn't for me, it was like the second best on the same level with Luzac. I really like the stage reminded me of Portugal last year a little bit, like with the white, with the cinematic. I really liked it actually. The stage was, I think, very good. But the song also was catchy. I think she was like the fifth of the night. And it was the first song my girlfriend said of, I like this. And for me, it was like, yeah, it was a little bit refreshing. It's not the most original thing you ever see, but I thought the song was catchy. I still can sing it in my head. That's not the same for all the songs. I think it would have done like okay at Eurovision, maybe not qualify, but with the juries would have liked it. I don't know where it came actually, but second to last. Well, I liked it, but I can understand why you found it a little bit flat and like forgettable.
Yeah, I think you touched on a good point. This is more of a jury song, I think, than a televote song. And sadly, televoters are no longer in the semi-finals at Eurovision. So I think this would have struggled if it had gone to Eurovision. But going back to the chat, I think we will wrap up soon because we have spoken about all of the participants from LSC this year. But Michael Dean Gray, you think that I get that One Last Time wasn't great live, but I cannot get Gambler Song out of my head. Maybe then that's a good sign. It's a catchy song. Yeah, I don't know. But we have obviously spoken about all of the acts. We had about 1 million interval acts, and we had interval acts in between the songs, which I didn't quite understand. But, you know, Luxembourg does Luxembourg. But overall, I think it was a good show. I think the broadcaster put on a very kind of high quality show again. I've just seen some more comments coming through. We have Elliot Harris, welcome. Based on tonight's performance, the wrong act, Laura sounded flat at points and nearly lost her vocal in the high ad-libs. I did notice she didn't do all of the high notes, and she did dodge some of them, which I think is a good move. If you're not confident, you can reach them. Luke is asking, Chris, where can you watch your Rafaela interview?
Chris calling.
Should I not have asked that? No? Okay.
No, good question. Yeah, he's in it. He should know where to find it.
Also, he's just teasing you.
He is. He's in the same room.
Okay. Well, for anyone else that's interested, you can watch Chris's Rafaela interview on Chris Calling on YouTube. For anyone else that might be interested. But overall, if we kind of have to think to Eurovision, I know we have practically no songs already, but based on Laura's performance tonight, do you think Luxembourg can qualify again to the final? Just based on what we've seen tonight? I think that's a yes from Yosha.
Yeah, with ease. I think it's not even a question. I don't really think it matters what other songs will be selected from other countries. I think they will elevate the staging at least a little. And yeah, I see this easily qualifying. Maybe not as a winner from the semi-final, but yeah, what I stated earlier, I think it can contend with the jury as well as the televote and maybe end in the left side of the scoreboard as well. I don't think it's like a question if it will qualify. I think it's stronger than Fighter last year. So I hope it will qualify at least.
Chris, there was a wow for me there, not a good sounding wow.
I mean, it's okay to disagree. But no, I don't. Based on tonight's performance, I don't think it's qualifying. But we know what's going to happen from here. There's plenty of time. I think like this song and performance, it's telling a story. So the thing that was missing for me tonight is those camera angles, like the close, like face shots where she can really sell it, but she will have that in BASEL. So I think based on that, I think it will qualify, but I think it needs some work, but it'll have that. So yeah.
Okay. Dylan, are you going to make it a 3 out of 3 for qualifying?
I think she's qualifying. Like, I mean, there is no debate here. I'm sorry, I disagree with Chris. She has everything to qualify, even at this stage. But I agree with Yosha. She needs to step up her game when it comes to vocals for the high notes, for instance, but also for the staging. The staging, unlike the other here in the group, I think is already pretty good. Based on the lyrics, and she's playing in a smart way with Barbie doll, but also the fact that she paid a tribute to France Gall was a smart move in my opinion, because there is a clear linked to that song and to the last to that stunning victory of Luxembourg. So something perhaps a bit more professional with the camera angles, as Chris said, and she's clearly qualifying, and she's a contender for the top 10 in my opinion as well. I think she is also a funny person, one of the contestants that we might see around, in every fan media. She seems to be accessible and she seems to be playful also. So that's all gonna help her, definitely.
Yeah, I think I would agree with all of you. I could definitely see Luxembourg qualifying as it is, but I think if they want to get a really good result in the final, they need to revamp that staging, because I'm not sold on that staging at all. Song-wise, I love it and it's my favourite from the selection, but the staging for me was a bit of a letdown. I wasn't loving it. For me, I think the France Gal references were a little bit on the nose. It was a bit too obvious that they would go with a France Gal and like a puppet kind of staging. I think maybe having something not so direct, or like a direct kind of link to that, would work better, in my opinion. But overall, from what we saw tonight, I would say that was a qualifying entry at Eurovision, I would say. But let's see what the guys in the chat are saying. Ellen, you think they are qualifying. So does Rai Bailey. Elliot, you're saying you think Luxembourg could struggle. They need to revamp the performance and get rid of the France Gal references on screen. I was a bit surprised to see the kind of black and white images coming up at the very beginning. I was thinking, is that going to stay? Is like France Gal going to transform into Laura Thorn maybe? I don't know, but
Would be epic.
that would be quite interesting. But yeah.
If she had like a France Gal mask on her face.
Don't think that would work personally, but we can hope. Anyway, we can dream. We have Yana. Hey Yana, welcome to the chat. You are very happy for Laura. Little John UK, you're saying that Laura will qualify because it has Austria, Zoe Luandisi vibes.
I think so too.
That. No, Dylan?
Well, enlighten me then, because apart from the language, I don't see much links.
Like the happy princess, happy world, positivity. I really see it reminds me a lot of it as well.
All right.
For me, I think it's just because they're kind of this fun, cutesy pop song and it's all pink and girly and happy and fun. That's the only connection I could make, but like a very vague connection. But
if they're going with that, they need to make it like 10 times bigger. Like it's going to be an even bigger stage. So they've got the right kind of flavor in the national final, but they need to throw it out the park, which I'm sure they will.
Like they've got the song, they've got the artist. Now they just need to nail the staging, and then they're done. And then hopefully that left side finish in the final is waiting for them.
Exactly.
Or at least I hope. Anyway, but guys, we have been live nearly an hour. I think we are probably going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope you enjoyed this video as well. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. You can also find us on TikTok, X, Facebook, and Instagram. And Threads. That's the other one. Threads. Probably you'll find us on more things in the future as more social media gets created. But stay tuned for more national final news coming. We will be going live so much in national final season, so you cannot get rid of us for the next couple of weeks. So you lot are very lucky. You get to see our beautiful faces even more. But thank you for joining. Have a good weekend, everyone, and we will see you soon. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.